What if you knew, truly knew, that in less than 24 hours, your city would be erased from the map? Not a storm you could outrun, not a fire you could escape. One single moment, one blinding flash, and 70,000 people just gone. On the morning of August 5th, 1945, the people of Hiroshima did what they always did. They made breakfast. They kissed their families. They sent their kids to school. They had no idea that on the other side of the Pacific, a plane was already being loaded. A crew was already being briefed. And a countdown that could not be stopped had already begun. This is the story of those final 24 hours. The decisions made, the people who carried them out, and the city that never saw it coming. By August 5th, 1945, this was no longer a debate. The decision had already been made. World War II in Europe was over. But the Pacific was a different story. Island by island, American forces fought toward mainland Japan. And every island was bloodier than the last. Iwo Jima, Okinawa, tens of thousands dead on both sides. Military planners estimated a ground invasion could cost anywhere from 250,000 to over 1 million Allied casualties, and potentially millions of Japanese lives. Truman had only been in office 82 days when he learned about the Manhattan Project. Roosevelt had kept it secret, even from his own vice president. And now Truman held the most terrifying weapon in human history. On July 26th, the Allied powers issued Japan a final warning: surrender unconditionally, or face prompt and utter destruction. Japan's military leadership rejected it. On August 2nd, just 3 days before our story begins, Truman authorized the use of the atomic bomb. 4 cities were on the target list: Hiroshima, Kokura, Nagasaki, and Niigata. Hiroshima rose to the top, a major military command center, a communications hub, significant war industries on its outskirts. But there was another reason, one that feels colder the more you sit with it. Hiroshima had not been heavily bombed yet. American forces wanted a virgin target, a city where the bomb's full power could be accurately measured. No previous damage to confuse the data. The people of Hiroshima had noticed they'd been spared. Some dared to hope they were protected somehow. They were not protected. They were being saved. 6 a.m. Hiroshima. The sun rises over the Oda River Delta. 350,000 people. Soldiers and civilians. Factories and schools and temples and streetcars. Everything a living city contains. Monday morning begins. A mother prepares rice for her children. A doctor reads patient charts at the Red Cross Hospital. A group of teenage girls head downtown to clear fire breaks, working in the open heart of the city. Remember that detail. It matters. 1,500 miles away, Tinian Island, home to the 509th Composite Group, a special unit training for nearly a year, for a mission nobody would fully explain to them. Their commander, Colonel Paul Tibbets, calm, precise, completely unflappable. That evening, Tibbets and his crew were called in for their final briefing. They were told the target. They were told the weapon. And they were told something. That must have made the room very, very quiet. Do not fly into the mushroom cloud after detonation. Do not look at the flash without eye protection. Turn the aircraft away from the blast, as hard and fast as physically possible. That instruction tells you everything about what they were about to do. The bomb was called Little Boy, 10 feet long, nearly 10,000 pounds, roughly 1,000 500 times more powerful than the largest conventional bomb of the war. It was loaded into a B-29 superfortress that Tibbets named after his mother. He called it Enola Gay. Before departure, a chaplain held a prayer service. Crew members wrote letters home. Some men laughed. Some went quiet and stayed that way. 2:45 a.m. Tinian Island. The Enola Gay rolled down the runway and lifted off, using almost every foot of the 85 0-foot runway, before finally pulling into the sky. 2 escort B-29s followed. The formation flew north through the darkness. Inside, crew members tried to stay calm. Some ate sandwiches. Some checked instruments. The weaponeer finished arming the bomb in flight, not wanting a fully armed atomic weapon anywhere near a potential crash on takeoff. 7 a.m. Hiroshima. An air raid alarm sounds, whether planes passing over. People look up. The siren runs for a few minutes. Then the all-clear sounds. People go back to what they were doing. Alarms have become routine by now. A few planes, probably just reconnaissance. Nothing to worry about. That conditioning would cost thousands of people the minutes they needed to reach proper shelter. 7:25 a.m. The weather report comes in. Hiroshima. Clear skies. Excellent visibility. Hiroshima is confirmed as the primary target. Tibbets gets on the intercom. For some crew members, this is the first time they've been told explicitly. He tells them it's an atomic bomb, that it will end the war. Nobody says much after that. 8:09 a.m. Hiroshima. The alarm sounds a second time. People glance at the sky. Most don't bother moving. Only 3 planes. Large raids come in formations of hundreds. 3 planes don't drop serious bombs. The all-clear sounds again. People turn back to their mornings. The summer air is warm. The sky is an open, cloudless blue. The people of Hiroshima have approximately 6 minutes left. 8:13 a.m. The Enola Gay reaches the city. Bombardier Major Thomas Farabee locks onto his aiming point. The A Bridge, a distinctive T-shaped bridge, right in the heart of the city. The bomb bay doors open. The city below is completely visible. Civilians moving through the streets. Streetcars running. The teenage girls at work clearing fire breaks downtown. 8:15 a.m. and 17 seconds. Little boy drops from the Enola Gay. It falls for 44.4 seconds. Tibbets banks hard. The crew pulls on their goggles. They brace. At 1885 feet above the ground, little boy detonates. The fireball reaches several million degrees in its first second. A pressure wave blasts outward at the speed of sound. Within half a mile, total destruction. Within 2 miles, hundreds of fires ignite simultaneously, merging into a single massive firestorm. The doctor at the Red Cross hospital, the children walking to school, the teenage girls in the city center, the soldier at breakfast with his family. Gone in a single second. 70,000 to 80,000 killed instantly. By the end of 1945, after radiation sickness, burns and injuries, between 90,000 and 166,000 dead. 3 miles away, crew member Robert Lewis wrote in his journal, "My God, what have we done?" 3 days later, a second bomb fell on Nagasaki. Approximately 40,000 killed immediately. On August 15th, Emperor Hirohito addressed his nation for the first time. He announced Japan's surrender. World War II was over. The debate has never fully ended. Was it necessary? Could Japan have surrendered another way? These arguments are real, serious, and still genuinely contested. What is not contested is this: Hiroshima changed everything. It opened the atomic age. It launched the Cold War arms race. It gave humanity a new kind of fear, the knowledge that we now have the capability to end ourselves. Completely. Permanently. The survivors, the Hibakusha, carried the weight of that morning for the rest of their lives. Many spent decades testifying, advocating for nuclear disarmament, so the world would not forget. Most of them are now gone, which is exactly why telling this story still matters. Hiroshima today is a city of nearly 1.2 million people, rebuilt, vibrant, alive. The atomic bomb dome still stands, preserved exactly as the explosion left it. And in the Peace Memorial Park, there is a flame. The peace flame, burning continuously since 1964. It will burn until every nuclear weapon on Earth has been destroyed. As of today, there are approximately 12,500 nuclear warheads in the world. The flame is still burning. 350,000 people went to sleep in Hiroshima on August 5, 1945. Most had no reason to believe the next morning would be any different from the one before it. That's the thing about the moments that change everything. They almost never announce themselves. They arrive on a clear day, through a blue summer sky, while everyone is going about their ordinary lives. The 24 hours before Hiroshima weren't extraordinary. They were heartbreakingly normal. And I think that's the most important thing to remember about it. If this video meant something to you, share it with someone. I'll drop the link to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum testimonies in the description. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one.